Hello everyone, and welcome to the Missouri School Boards Association's Board Report for the month of October. We thank you for the opportunity to share some news and information during a few minutes of your board meeting. We begin with the continuing budget challenges facing public schools throughout the state. A recent survey conducted by the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education shows 7 out of 8 school districts in the state cut their budgets this year, and nearly half of those report their budgets were reduced by between 6 and 10%. In addition, more than 80% of responding school districts reported they have reduced staff this year. Unfortunately, the state funding outlook for the fiscal year beginning next July 1st is not looking any better than this year and could be worse. Missouri will be receiving about $189 million from the education jobs legislation recently passed by Congress. But Commissioner of Education Dr. Nicastro tells us that won't be enough to solve the state's revenue problem.
It's certainly not up to me. As I said, it's a local board and superintendent decision how they spend their funds. I have cautioned superintendents to be very conservative in their use of all funds. I think that they need to be very much aware of the fact that the stimulus funds that are supporting the formula and other funding streams this year are not going to be here for fiscal 12. So they need to be very mindful of that as they plan.
This money, though, it's not going to be enough to really deal with the budget situation we're facing, is it?
Well, it certainly doesn't equal what we have in stimulus funds right now. It's certainly helpful, but it's not going to be sufficient to make up the difference.
That federal money will be distributed through the foundation formula calculation. It will require the General Assembly to approve what's called a supplemental appropriation when it convenes in January. Nicastro is urging school districts to use the money to support their fiscal year 2012 budget, which begins next July 1st. The budget outlook was one of the topics of discussion at MSBA's fall regional meetings held last month throughout the state. The meetings also focused on some of the other issues of concern likely to come before next year's legislature, including open enrollment and the expansion of charter schools throughout the state. Next year's General Assembly will see a significant number of new legislators. Due to term limits, there will be at least 74 new legislators next year, including 10 in the Senate and 64 in the House. School board members and administrators are urged to meet with their newly elected legislators as soon as possible after the November elections to begin to educate them on the critical issues facing our schools. Board members and administrators attending the meetings also had the opportunity to share successful programs with one another. MSBA's Foundation Future Builders plans to highlight those successful programs in the coming months. Well, food allergies can affect a student's total school environment, everything from bus rides to cafeterias and playgrounds. It's essential that every student with a life-threatening food allergy has an appropriate food allergy plan in place and that schools are ready to implement those plans. The National School Boards Association is producing a webcast on that issue on Tuesday, November 9th to address this important issue. The program is being produced in cooperation with MSBA's Education Solutions Global Network, or ESGN. The program is free, but registration is required. You can register at www.studentfoodallergies.org. And there's still time to register for the 2010 MSBA Annual Conference coming up October 21st through 24th at the Lake of the Ozarks. Registration information and a conference program are available on the MSBA website at www.msbanet.org. And be sure your district is represented at the MSBA Delegate Assembly on October 22nd. The Delegate Assembly determines MSBA's positions on a wide range of issues related to education policy in the state. That's it for this month's edition of the MSBA Board Report. Thanks for allowing us to have some time at your board meeting, and so long from Columbia.